Hi, good evening all of you. Welcome all of you to my channel. So in this session I will discuss some of the questions. These are not the questions from any specific interview section or anything. It's just the general questions that come to my mind, and I thought I have to post it. Okay. So the questions are very basics, and it's very important for all the physics student. So let's think about the questions. Okay, I will not tell the answer. I will just introduce the different type of question to your mind. So please think, and let's approach it. So the question is like, why Planck constant is coming in de Broglie wavelength. Okay, so in general, whenever you are studying about de Broglie wavelength, that is matter wave concept. So the wavelength coming like lambda equal to h by mv. Okay, so this concept is very important, and this is the foundation to quantum mechanics. That is the concept of matter wave, and uncertainty is introduced. So the question is like that, why this h is coming here? So why this de Broglie wavelength carry this Planck constant? So why Planck constant is there? The question is like that. So let's think about it and make certain possible answer. Okay. So the next question is very important. What will happen if you introduce a barrier in the middle of an infinite potential well? Suppose you have a potential well like this, and suppose this is a symmetric potential well, that is length from minus L to plus L, or minus L by 2 to plus L by 2, and the origin is at the center O0. So suppose I have introduced a barrier potential here. The barrier is like this. Suppose this is minus L by 4 to this is L by 4. Okay, so the width of this barrier is L by 2. Okay, so how it will affect this energy eigenvalue and the eigenfunction. Okay, so just it's a question from perturbation theory. So you have to consider the ground state wave function, since this is a symmetric potential wave. So the ground state wave function will be cos. So by taking this wave function, you have to calculate the correction energy. Then you have to find the total energy, that is unperturbed energy plus perturbed correction energy. In similar way, we can predict the wave function. But the basic question asked here that you have to draw the wave function in this potential wave. So let's think. I have I have a question, that is, you have to draw the ground state wave function. I mentioned that wave function should be in the ground state. So think about the wave function and draw for this situation. Okay. So the next question is, why energy gap increases when we are moving from bulk material to the nanoscale? This is very important question. Very important. Suppose you have a bulk material like suppose this is bulk TiO2. Okay, so its general unattached phase band gap is nothing but 3.2 electron volt, because TiO2 available in three form: unattached, rutile and brochite, and the three form are three different phases and different energy band gap. So for the unattached phase, for the unattached phase, so the wave function is energy band gap is 3.2 electron volt. Suppose you are in this bulk TiO2. Okay, you are moving to nano. Suppose you are making some TiO2 nanoparticles. You will observe that this energy band gap Eg will be greater than 3.2 electron volt. So why this is happening? That is, whenever you are in bulk and you are moving to nanoscale. Okay, this is nanoscale. Your energy band gap increases with size. That is the basic properties of nanoparticles. That is, its size depends upon optical property, or optical property of the nanomaterials depends upon its size. Why it is related, and how it is related doesn't matter, because it is related inversely. If you increase the size, energy band gap decreases. If you decrease the size, energy band gap will increase. But why? My question is, why there is a change of band gap, that is increase of the band gap whenever you are moving from bulk material to the nano material. Okay, so let's think about this question. And the next question is also important. You all know that is in nearly free electron model or tight binding model, there is the existence of band gap in the material. So is the periodic potential is a sufficient condition for the band gap to be exist? Okay, I never thought about this question. So this is a very important question for all the physics students. Is the potential periodic potential, that is the Crony-Penny model. As per the Crony-Penny model, there is a periodic potential exists in the solid, and that's why electrons are moving in under the influence of the periodic potential. And whenever we are solving the Schrodinger equation, we are getting some allowed region and forbidden region, and which indicate that there is the existence of some band gap in the material. Will this periodic potential is a sufficient condition? So, is this periodic potential, that is periodic potential exists in this solid, that's why we are getting some band gap. Like suppose this is my, suppose as you do as you did in the in a nearly free electron model, suppose this is G, this is minus pi by A, this is plus pi by A, and this is the first Brillouin zone. And whenever you are drawing your energy dispersion relation, you are observing some band gaps. Okay, these are the band gaps region, this is the discontinuity of energy, and this is the band gap. So why this is present in solid? Is this periodic potential is sufficient condition for the existing of this band gap in the solid? So let's think about this question. Okay, also think I'm going to give a hints. Also think about the tight binding model. Okay, so the next question is very basic actually. So what is the basic difference between classical harmonic oscillator and quantum harmonic oscillator, and draw their respective phase diagram? So as you know, in classical harmonic oscillator and quantum harmonic oscillator, there is a basic difference in their energy eigenvalue, and also you should think about the probability of finding particle in extreme and mean position. Then there will be a difference, and if you draw the wave function, they will get the very basic difference for the ground state also. For any state, but you will clearly visible some basic difference in the ground state. So and then draw the phase space diagram for both classical harmonic oscillator and quantum harmonic oscillator. I remember this question was asked me in IIT Guwahati interview. Okay, but this is very usual and very important question. Matlab, you can get this question at anywhere or any moment also. So let's practice it. And ISS, this question. So can you oscillate a charge moving with a constant velocity? Suppose you have a charge Q, it is moving with a constant velocity v. Can you oscillate this charge? If possible, then how? Okay, so this is the question. Can you oscillate a charge moving with a constant velocity? Yes. The next question is from spectroscopy, that is from Raman spectroscopy. Why Stokes line are more intense than the anti-Stokes line? As you know, in Raman spectroscopy, there is existence of various energy level. These are the energy levels. Okay, and you are getting a relay line for source transition, where del mu change in frequency is 0, and you are getting Stokes line for source transition, where del mu is less than 0, and you are getting anti-Stokes. This is Stokes line, this is relay line, and anti-Stokes line will occur for source transition, where del mu is greater than 0. Okay, so why the intensity of Stokes line is greater than the intensity of anti-Stokes line? This is the question. Okay, so I am going to give you hints. So think about this transition. Look carefully this transition, you will get the answer. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you for watching this video. This question come to my mind, and I thought I have to post it. So you have to think and you have to search for the answer. So let's thank you for watching this video. Bye.